Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders and local legends that are shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Sharon Graves, the founder of Time to Play Sensory. Great to have you on the show.
Lovely to see you. Thank you for having me, James.
Not a problem, not a problem. So for those of us who don't know you yet, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
I'm Sharon Graves. I'm the founder of Time to Play Sensory. It's quite a new business. I've only been going for just under a year, actually, although I've lived in the town for many more years than that. And I make and sell beautiful handmade sensory play resources for children. And I help parents basically make sensory play simple again so that young children can engage in screen-free creative play that prepares their bodies and their brains for starting school.
That's wonderful. I've got two young sons myself, one's 6, one's 2, and I completely can see the benefit in that kind of sensory play. I must admit I do struggle with that a little bit this end. What was your spark for getting this started, Sharon, if it's only been around for just under a year?
A good question. Well, I'm an ex-teacher. I'm a primary school teacher by trade for many, many years. And a lot of people in town might recognise me. For the last 10 years, I've been running Heartbeeps, which is sensory classes for babies and toddlers. It's a franchise business, so lovely business to run. And I was all really about creating connection between parents and their children and playing in a way that really helps them to feel empowered, to feel creative, to feel that they're able to express themselves. And I just think that play is such an important vehicle for that. And coming out of the lockdown, I think I could see that there was a gap for people knowing actually kind of what to do with their children at home. And I've got 2 children myself. I'm a mum, one of which has special needs as well, and he's autistic and has ADHD. So he has a sensory profile, and that very much informed what I'm doing now as well. So I've got the learning angle and I've got the play angle. And then, of course, I spent, almost 20 years now, I think it is, in total working with local families. So I'm putting that all together in this business. But I also wanted to do something a bit creative for myself as well. And whilst the franchise business was amazing and was very successful, I wanted something that was truly mine. And so that's where my passion is coming from now. And I'm getting to live out all those creative juices.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like, your experience really lends itself to the work that you're doing. I completely understand this kind of, you want to play with your children. I know I want to play with the kids, but it's difficult sometimes to keep them engaged or to keep them, I find, in one place to actually do a thing. How do you, what's your advice there, or how does what you're producing support that?
That's a great question, actually. It is a thing that our attention spans are becoming shorter. I think screens have a big factor in that. And I'm hearing from my ex-teacher friends that, children are starting school and they're really struggling to actually kind of maintain their attention and kind of concentrate on what's in front of them. So the joy of sensory play really is that it's open-ended, it's creative, they can follow their own lead. And actually what I find is that children play with open-ended toys for much longer than they do sort of closed-ended ones. So what I mean by that really is that there isn't just one outcome. There's lots of different things they can do. So when you see a child play with sensory toys, you'll see that they stack things, that they sort them in colours or sizes. So they're learning throughout that. But also, of course, they're using their fine motor skills. They're developing their grip, their strength in their hand, which they need eventually to write when they start school as well. So it's all really important stuff. But there's also problem solving in there. And if they're working with another child in a nursery setting, or if they're working with playing with a sibling at home, you've got that interaction between them where they've got to problem solve. They've got to tell stories. And then children just do this naturally. But I think it's become difficult because parents are busy. Parents are super busy. And I get it. I'm a busy working parent myself. And screens absolutely have their place. Totally, definitely. But I think that the balance is just kind of tipping sometimes. And children are just looking for that instant gratification, that dopamine hit that they get with screens. And I think it's sometimes creating problems maybe that come up later on in life where they don't know how to deal with a problem. They don't know how to fail and try something and go again. And of course, when you play with your child, you're demonstrating all of those skills. You're narrating out loud, oh, it's really frustrating. Look, my tower fell down. What am I going to do? And give the chance for the child to maybe help you. So then you've got kindness in there. You've got compassion. You've got empathy. So there really is so many skills that they can learn from this. But yes, I think extending people's attention span will definitely help them when they start school. And that's one of the things that I'm hoping to achieve with this business.
Fantastic. And flipping this on its head a little bit, I can totally see how that's useful for the child. But if you're an adult parent that is really struggling with their own attention span,
yes,
putting my hand up here, how sitting down and actually being creative, have you got any maybe prompts to start that process?
Yeah, good question. Again, I think it's a thing of being a bit playful yourself. The reason why my business is called Time to Play Sensory is twofold, really. It's making that time to play, making it a priority and understanding that that is the thing that connects you to your child. But also, my products are pour and pay. So the idea is that I do the work for you. I make these creative, interesting themed sets. And for the parent, it's really easy. They can pour it in there and it's already there, ready to go. I know from experience as a parent myself, a busy parent, that dyeing rice and pasta and working out what to do with it all is a bit of a challenge and a faff and messy. And what I'm trying to do here really is to try and make it easier for parents, to actually make it a way that they can get in there straight away. In terms of like engaging with their child, it's narrating what they're doing. Like, it's so good for their speech and language development. Just talking about what they can see in front of them makes such a huge difference, and it'll encourage your child to speak back to you about it as well. And then as they get a bit older, you can start in just adding little questions. What do you think will happen if I pour this in here? Do you think that this will fill the cup? Ooh, what will happen if it doesn't fill the cup? What could we do instead? And the other thing I love about sensory play is storytelling, which of course is just classic for children. Children love stories. It's how they connect with the world around them. And it's a great way for parents to talk about their own experiences. You know, I remember a time when I saw a fox that ran across the road. Let's imagine you've got a woodland play set in front of you, and he ran across me and I didn't know if I was going to hit him. And I had to slow down. Do you remember a time when you've slowed down? So it's like using opportunities to chat to your child about things, and they really will benefit so much from that. I really believe that.
That's awesome. I've been taking notes whilst you've been talking, and I've written loads down here. It's something I personally really struggle with. My wife does loads of kind of creative things with our sons. They get out sand or magnetic sand or Play-Doh, and I kind of
brilliant.
Personally though, it gives me the ick. I'm like, I can't do all this kind of stuff. You can deal with that. But I play with Lego and Duplo and those kind of things. But the more sensory bits, maybe I've got some unresolved.
We all have different sensory profiles, I think.
So what are your sensory toys? What are they made from? I don't know if I'm asking the right question.
No. Absolutely. What I mainly make is sensory mixes. Okay. So they're things that go in sensory bins. When I say a sensory bin, you can get expensive gadgets and so on, but honestly, you can just use a baking tray. You can just use a large plastic box. And my products really are a mixture of mainly pasta, rice, chickpeas that are coloured. I use a lot of the pasta shapes to create different things, like the bow tie type ones. I can never remember all the names. Falafel, there we are, you do it much better than me. But they could be butterflies, so I might paint them, and some of them I do hand paint as well to get the kind of sense that I'm going for. But a lot of it is also open-ended. So the idea is that the children can actually interpret some of it themselves as well. At the moment, I'm working on a Halloween mix, but there'll be Christmas mixes coming up later on. So I use the seasons too as well to inspire a lot of what I make. which again is great for chatting to children about what they see in the world around them. The different colours at this time of year are wonderful, of course. Yeah, so that's mainly what I do. I also do some painting of wooden resources as well. So things like little trees and little peg dolls, things like that. So they've got characters to use in their play, and they can be used in lots of different ways rather than just as a one-off.
Wonderful. And so if any parents out there are listening to this, or grandparents as well, thinking about presents for their kids, how can they see what you're selling at the moment and get involved and do more things with their children?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got a website, so I mainly sell online through my website, which is just simply www.timetoplaysensory.com. So really simple to find. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, so people can message me there if they want to. But all of the products that I'm currently selling are online. I do also sometimes pop up at local fairs. I've just done the Female Founders Fair at Jackson Square this week as well. So I do that once every couple of months. So you might see me there too.
Wonderful. If you're going to be popping up anywhere, let us know, and we can share it with our listeners so they can see, they can come and get involved. What you've been telling me today has been absolutely valuable. Like this feels like a personal consultation for how I can get a bit more involved with my son, because all that he does at the moment is he throws balls, and I say balls, throws anything that he can get his hands on around the house, and actually getting him to sit down.
He's practicing his gross motor skills.
Yeah. My wife celebrates it. I would pull my hair out if I had when you left. But that's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all that. Are you ready for some Stortford Spotlight questions?
Oh, yes, I can. Yes.
Fantastic. Today's podcast is brought to you by a great local business helping people take back their time in Bishop Stortford. If your weekends are getting swallowed by cleaning instead of time with your family, I get it. As a dad of 2 young boys, I know how fast those moments can go, and I've been let down by cleaners before. That's why I use Time For You Cleaning. They're reliable, friendly, and give you one less thing to worry about. If you want your time back, head to timeforyou.cleaning and let them know the podcast sent you. Get back your precious time and support local. Right, back to the show. These are 3 questions that we ask every guest that comes on the Bishop Stortford Community podcast. So first question, if you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say, and who do you think needs to hear it the most?
Good question. I think I would put something along the lines of all play is learning. And I think that parents need to hear that. I think sometimes parents always feel silly for playing with their child, or they don't know where to start. And actually, I'd encourage everyone to be playful. It's great for your mental health. I play as well. Like my playtime is obviously creating stuff now as well. I really enjoy that. But I also belong to a local musical theatre choir. That's my way. I belong to the Sing Space musical theatre choir in Bishop Stortford. I absolutely love it. So yeah, be playful, and it's a great way to connect to others.
That's awesome. I think there's one thing that I'm just thinking back to my childhood. Everything is so organised now, where you take kids to an event to do a thing, and then you leave the thing, and they've got a start and there's an end and all that kind of stuff. Whereas when I was younger, I remember going out to play, and it was just this. What do you mean go out and play? Well, you don't know. You just go out and you walk in the woods, or you have you jump on your bike, or you throw a ball around, or you play curbsies if you live on an estate like I did. Anything like that. Which doesn't seem to happen anymore. That kind of free play. Maybe I'm getting too deep with this.
No, not at all. I love this. It's my special interest. So it's all good. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think there's a certain amount of resilience that comes from that as well. I think when kids can go out and have a bit more freedom for themselves, they're much more likely to discover things for themselves. And that's the experiences that stay with them. And of course, the world has changed, and I can understand why children don't play outside as much as they used to. But it is so important to give them freedom in a controlled way, if need be, a slightly controlled way, but still allow them time to express themselves and their own personality and work through their emotions as well. I think that's so important. So yeah, play is the way.
Play is the way. That's another T-shirt that we can get printed up. Okay, second question. Where do you go in Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to the Harvest Moon, the Harvest Moon pub in Thorley. And the reason why I'm giving a shout out to them is because A, it's my local, and B, I go there after my musical theatre choir sometimes, and it's great. And the other thing is that I actually run a voluntary group for SEN parents. I'm an SEN parent myself, and I could see that there was a need for people to connect. So once a month we meet there. We just have a drink. It's very casual, but it's great because there's a space there where it always feels safe. It's not too busy during the week. It's very busy at the weekends, very popular at the weekends, lovely food, great staff there. So it's always got a good atmosphere, but it is quite nice because it does give us that slightly more closed space to be able to talk safely and openly about our children and our experiences and navigating the SEN world, which is quite tough sometimes, quite tough. So it's lovely to have that space to be able to do it.
That's awesome. I think that's also our first pub shout out that we've had on the show.
There we go.
Which is fantastic. I hope they're on social media so I can tag them later on.
I hope so too.
I haven't been in the Harvest Moon for going on 20 years now. Probably ages me a little bit, but I will be sure to check it out, not at the weekends as well.
But they have lovely food.
They do have lovely
Just
food.
book ahead for a table.
Okay, I will do that most definitely. Okay, third question: who's doing something special in town that more people need to know about?
Okay. I think I'm going to give a shout out here to the Little Arts Workshop. I don't know if you've heard of it, James. Have you heard of the Little Arts Workshop?
Is it round the back of South Mills? Is that?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Just down South Mill Road. It's run by the wonderful Jess. Jess is an absolute legend. The reason why I love the Little Arts Workshop so much is that they are a community-based arts workshop. They're very much about growing creativity, but they also have a lot of support for different needs of groups. They're a safe space for Stortford Pride as well, which I know sometimes meet there. And they very much get involved in the local community as well. They do pop-up events, they do special evenings, and it's just a lovely, lovely place to be. Jess is so creative. Her team are wonderful. They always make you feel so welcome and safe there. And it really is a great place for both adults and children to enjoy. And they do a lot for our community as well. So big shout out to Jess Melton over there at the Little Arts Workshop.
That's fantastic. We'll have to see if Jess can get on the show.
I will have a chat with her.
Yeah, do that, because that sounds like a lovely community-spirited setup there. Lots going on. So, yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thanks for that, Sharon. Okay, finally, where's the best place, again, for people to find you online and get involved with everything you're doing, Sharon?
Well, I mainly hang out on Instagram, on the socials, but we also have a Facebook page as well, and it's just at Time to Play Sensory. And then the website, which is www.timetoPlaySensory.com. So really, really simple to find. And yeah, I'd love to hear from more local people. I also offer free pickup if anyone locally wants to pick up from me. They just put in the promo code COLLECT, and that will take off the delivery charge as well if they want to come and collect it from me in Thorley.
Fantastic. We will put that in the show notes so people can know exactly how to go through that process, because, you know, let's support local as much as we can, and
yeah, I agree.
Help our kids out. That's fantastic. That's a wrap. Thanks for joining us today, Sharon, on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity, James.
Well done on your first podcast as well, Sharon. I'm sure
it
won't be the last. I think you'll be fantastic. And if you've enjoyed this episode, the best way to support us is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening or watching this, and then share it on your socials with someone who you think might be interested in listening or watching what Sharon is doing at the moment. Also, if you've got a local legend, someone like Jess, who you think we should feature next on the podcast, drop me a message or tag them in the comments so I can reach out and book them on to the show. Thanks again for listening. Please go and support something local and help us make Bishop Stortford a better town. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Sharon. If you run a business built on trust, but your website's full of stock photos and silence, we need to talk. True Tone Testimonials helps coaches, consultants, and other service providers turn real client stories into high-converting video content. No scripts, no fluff, just honest words from real people who already love what you do. They're professionally filmed and ready to drop onto your site or into your socials. Head to truetonetestimonials.card.co. Let your clients do the selling. Okay, support local. Let's get back to the show.